you are seeing now?
Sir, press F5.
F5. No, it is actually F5 here not working. That's why.
Okay.
Now?
At the bottom, you see there is one screen option bottom. Yeah. Now it's visible.
So like this we can read. Okay, now it is visible.
Okay. Yeah. Now it's visible, and the slides are also changing.
Okay.
Yeah, correct, sir.
Already over. Any doubt?
Everything fine, sir. Continue.
Okay. Then you should remember about appendicular abscess and appendicular mass. So this is only difference is pus inside or pus is absent. And now which most common bacteria causes the appendicitis mainly? It is Bacteroides fragilis followed by E. coli. Bacteroides fragilis followed by E. coli. Now the types of appendicitis. There are various types are there. One is acute non-obstructive, that is catarrhal type, and acute obstructive type, as we discussed already, by ficholith or any foreign body or any worm like things. And now third point is recurrent appendicitis, which occur within months. Then that is recurrent appendicitis. Subacute appendicitis. Subacute appendicitis is mainly Murphy's signs. The three signs may not be present all. That is subacute appendicitis. And next is stump appendicitis. After appendicectomy, the stump left, if it is more than 0.5 mm, then there is chances of recurrence like thing, that is called as stump appendicitis. And the stump appendicitis, in various books it is written 0.3 mm, and some books it is written 0.5 mm. So go for 0.5 mm maximum it is given. Now clinical feature, Murphy's triad. First is pain followed by vomiting and temperature. So if a patient come to casualty or a surgical OPD is pain abdomen followed by vomiting or fever, then you should consider for appendicitis. If he complaining of fast fever, then pain, then that may be some other things. So first keep in mind, the patient should complain the pain started in the umbilical region, then it shifted to the right iliac fossa, then you should consider it as if it is appendicitis. And followed by vomiting due to reflux or pylospasm, and temperature also increases, and constipation should be there. If diarrhea he is presenting as diarrhea, then that should be post-ileal or pelvic position of the appendix. And also due to fever, tachycardia should be there, and also urinary frequency in case of bladder irritation, that is most commonly in pelvic position of the appendix. And also flank and back pain if he is presenting, then that should be retroperitoneal position. All these are coming as a clinical type of question as nowadays coming. Flank pain, back pain with right iliac fossa pain, vomiting. So you should consider about retrocecal position of the appendix, and that is due to appendicitis. And next important point is pain starts at the periumbilical region, followed by after 12 to 24 hours it shifted to right iliac fossa. And first the pain around the periumbilical region is visceral pain. It converts to somatic pain, that is in the right iliac fossa. And it is mainly dull, colicky, and constant pain. And McBurney's point is the junction of the spino-umbilical line, that is lateral 1/3 and medial 2/3. That point is called as McBurney's point. Now we proceed to the clinical signs of appendicitis. So first is Ropsing sign. On pressing the left iliac fossa, pain should felt over the right iliac fossa, that is Ropsing sign. It is most important. Next is Blumberg sign or release sign. Here, tenderness and rebound tenderness at the McBurney's point, that is right iliac fossa. Now, third is Cope-Swas test. That is, if the appendix is in retrocecal position, then Cope-Swas test is positive. And other tests like obturator's test, Baldwin sign, and Bastard sign, Dumfries test, cough test, Papert bed shaking test, heel drop test. There are n numbers of signs are there and test for appendicitis, but we should remember the Ropsing sign, Blumberg sign, and Cope-Swas obturator test, all four. And rest are like Arnon sign, palpation of the right iliac fossa, there is pain after retraction of the testis. That is also important. And others like Baltimore and Rosenbach sign and Seren's triangle, it is important. That is hyperaesthesia in the in case of acute appendicitis, and the triangle is in between ASIS, umbilicus, and pubic symphysis. That triangle is Seren's triangle, and hyperesthesia occurs during acute appendicitis. Now, differential diagnosis in acute appendicitis, it is given in belly lobe. We should remember 2 to 3 points in each, because in clinical presentation, like if children come, we should consider first is gastroenteritis, mesenteric adenitis, Meckel's diverticulum also common, and also intussusception. In case of adult, regional enteritis, ureteric colic, and torsion of testis, these are common. In adult female, most common is mitral that is ovulatory period in time, there is pain occurs in the lower abdomen. And in case of elderly, diverticulitis, colonic carcinoma, intestinal obstruction, all these are differential diagnosis. These are least important in MCQ point of view. Now, investigation. So, investigation, when the patient comes, first laboratory investigation, a TLC should be raised, and also CRP, that is C-reactive protein. C-reactive protein raises in most of the inflammatory cases, and also in case of infection, the total leukocyte count is also raised. Now, radiologically, how will you proceed? First, if a patient presenting as a pain abdomen, then we should go for ultrasonography, followed by CECT. And X-ray abdomen is very least requirement in these cases, except in case of calcified or ficcolith if present, then that only visualize in X-ray, otherwise not. Now, CECT is ideal, and sensitivity specificity is very high. And the inference of the CECT, that is the report, will come like thick walled surrounding strand of blunt end of a viscous of more than 7 mm diameter. Then all these are characteristic feature of acute appendicitis. Now, apart from ultrasound and CECT abdomen, we should consider MRI in certain cases, like in case of pregnancy, preferably, and it has also sensitivity specificity high, that is 100% almost. Now, pre-op investigation routine we should do, and selectively pregnancy test, urea and electrolytes, and radiological investigation should be done. And now coming to the scoring system. One scoring system is very important, that is Alvarado scoring system, that is Mantrel, where there are 3 signs and 2 symptoms and 2 radiological findings are there. So first is migratory pain, anorexia, nausea. These are each 1 point. We should remember about 2 points, that is tenderness in the right iliac fossa and increase in leukocytosis, that is more than 10,000. These are each containing of 2 points. So if tenderness is present and leukocytosis, then it consists of 4. That is out of 10, it is 40%. So first these 2 points, then others like migratory pain, anorexia, nausea, rebound tenderness, elevated temperature, and last is shift of leukocyte neutrophil to the left. So but it is only for clinically we can find, but not confirmatory. After finding this, we can diagnose as it appendicitis, followed by we should go for imaging. Otherwise, we cannot directly proceed to the operation theater by Alvarado scoring. The other scoring system for acute appendicitis are Kalam modified and Jank scoring system, Ripasa scoring system, and Anderson scoring system. Only for theoretical knowledge, you should remember all this as a MCQ point of view. Now, if the Alvarado score is less than 5, then not sure of appendicitis. If it is in between 5 to 6, then it is equivocal. If it is in between 6 to 9, then probable diagnosis of appendicitis. If it is more than 9, then it is confirmed appendicitis. So, CECT is ideally preferable in case of equivocal cases where there is confusion between either appendicitis or something else. Or in case of ultrasonography, in most of cases, appendix is not visualized. In those cases, for confirmation, we can go for CECT also. Now, treatment part. After investigating and confirming the diagnosis, now we should proceed first for conservative management. As the patient came as pain abdomen, vomiting, fever, all these things, we should keep the patient nil per oral, followed by IV fluids and antibiotics should be given. And third generation cephalosporin metronidazole is preferable. Then, next we proceed for appendicitis. If suspected clinically and symptoms are less than 48 hours or more than 48 hours, if it is less than 48 hours, a patient came to you with features of appendicitis, then first is male or female. If it is a male, then classic presentation of localized peritonitis, then go for lap appendectomy. Within 48 hours, generally localized, because after that chances of perforation and chances of generalized peritonitis should be there. So within 48 hours, if classic presentation of localized peritonitis, then lap appendectomy. In case of equivocal presentation, as we see the Alvarado score is 6, then we should go for CT scan. Okay. Now, in some books, it is also written if it is within 24 hours and localized peritonitis, also you should go for lap appendectomy. It is not necessarily 48 hours. It is the table is given in the submission only. And in case of female, if first we should test the urine pregnancy test, whether positive or negative. If it is positive, then follow pregnancy algorithm. We will discuss in further slide. And if it is not pregnant lady, then go for CT scan. It is written, but ideally preferable is MRI in case of pregnant female. Also ultrasonography as a standard protocol, and ideally is 100% sensitivity is MRI in case of pregnant female. Now it is if appendicitis, then lap appendectomy. If it is negative for appendicitis, then observation. If improving, then discharge the patient. If not improving, then diagnostic laparoscopy can be proceeded. And if it is other diagnosis came like mesenteric adenitis like things, then treat accordingly. So why this table is important? Because nowadays clinically the question is asking like a patient of 60-year male came to casualty with symptoms of pain, abdomen, vomiting, fever since last 36 hours. Then all these things, then if classically presentation is localized peritonitis, then what is the further treatment? Then we should go for lap appendectomy. So this is why, that is why the table is important. Now if it is a male and equivocal presentation, Alvarado score 6, then CT scan is ideal. Then if CT scan it is came as appendicitis, go for lap appendectomy. If it is negative for appendicitis, then observation. If it is improving, then discharge. If not improving, then go for diagnostic laparoscopy. If it is came as other diagnosis, then treat accordingly. So ideally, grossly you should remember, if the CT is negative for appendicitis, then observation is ideal. And accordingly, if the improving, then discharge, otherwise diagnostic laparoscopy. Okay. Now, laparoscopy versus open appendectomy. Nowadays, laparoscopy is ideal and gold standard like lap cholecystectomy. So, because the pain is less, less length of hospital stay, also the infection is less, and also the incision given is very small. Now, the methods are adopted in special circumstances. Now, if the cecal wall is edematous, okay, appendicitis the patient came with, and in CT scan it is written as cecal wall edematous, then purse string suture is given in the healthy cecal wall with great larger distance from the base, and stomps should not be invaginated. Okay, if the cecal wall is edematous, then purse string suture should be given in the healthy cecal wall, and also stomp is not invaginated. Okay, now next is inflamed base. These are circumstances. The clinical questions are also like coming like this. If the base is inflamed, then it should not be crossed. Okay, it should not be crossed and ligate close to the cecal wall to occlude the lumen. If the base is gangrene, then neither cross or nor ligate, because the chances of the spreading of the gangrene is high towards the cecum. Now, next is perforated appendicitis. The perforation, the mouse is not working like. The perforation is 2.5 to 3% cases, and mainly it occurs most commonly in case of pelvic appendix, and more common with extreme of ages less than 5 years or more than 65 years. And it is associated with risk factors like thicolitis, diabetes mellitus, and previous abdominal surgery, immunocompromised patients. And most commonly it occurs in the tip and in the anti-mesenteric border. All these are coming as MCQ point of view. And in case of perforated appendicitis, appendectomy is done with closed suction drain. Suction drain should be given. And how will you know clinically whether the appendix is perforated or not? The temperature is more than 39 degrees centigrade or 102 degree Fahrenheit, and TLC count should be more than 18,000 cells per millimeter cube. Then we can confirm the appendix is perforated. It is given in Mangold. Now another circumstance is in the operation theater, you will open the abdomen and you see that the appendix is normal. Then nowadays preferable is not go for appendectomy because appendix help in immunity. So if we are dissecting the appendix, then that will be a disadvantage for the patient. So it is not advisable nowadays. Now incidental appendectomy. Incidental appendectomy is a grossly normal appendix removed at the time of some other procedures like hysterectomy or cholecystectomy or sigmoid colectomy. So appendix has a role in maintenance of healthy colonic flora, also as an immunomodulator. Hence, nowadays it is not advisable, as already I discussed, not advisable for go for appendectomy in case of normal appendix. Now, sequelae of the acute appendicitis, it can be resolved, it can be relapse or recurrent appendicitis or appendicular mass, abscess, perforation or portal pyemia like things, and most dangerous is portal pyemia. Now, approach to a patient with delayed presentation. If the patient is coming after more than 48 hours, where diffuse peritonitis occurred followed by perforation of the appendix, then if there is diffuse peritonitis is present, then first resuscitate the patient and by giving the antibiotics, as already we discussed, third generation cephalosporin or metronidazole, and along with metronidazole. And if there is no diffuse peritonitis present, then go for CT scan. And if it is coming as other diagnosis, then treat accordingly. If appendicitis is confirmed, then first see whether abscess is present or phlegmon. If phlegmon is present, then antibiotics should be given, followed by follow the algorithm of adult or child. If there is abscess is present, then only drainage is enough. Followed by we should go for lap appendectomy after interval after 6 to 8 weeks. Now, colonoscopy after discharge should be done, and if it is coming as normal, then interval appendectomy. If it is coming as neoplasm, then appendicular neoplasm, another algorithm is there, and that should follow. And all these are given in Sabiston as a flow chart. Okay. Everything is audible and fine?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes,
sir. Everything is clear, crisp and
Okay.
clear.
Okay. Now the next is appendicular mass, or if patient is not fit for surgery. You can remember appendicular mass is when there is inflammatory appendix surrounded by omentum and ileum and colon, but without presence of pus. Then that is appendicular mass. And so in that case, how we'll manage? The Osner-Seren regimen is applicable in those cases. And the criteria for conservating treatment is especially when the pulse rate is high, or increasing or spreading abdominal pain, or increasing in size of the mass, then we should stop conservative. We should go for appendectomy. Okay. Now, Kurt Semen, one scientist, one surgeon who performed first lap appendectomy. Okay. This can come as a one-liner. Now, approach to the patient with suspected appendicitis in pregnancy. Now, pregnancy. So, in case of pregnant lady, the appendicitis is most common in second trimester. And if the pregnant lady present with diffuse peritonitis, then first resuscitate and providing the antibiotics and control the source. If there is no diffuse peritonitis, we should go for ultrasonography abdomen. And also, if it is coming as negative, then we should go for MRI. Okay. But if the question is coming like a pregnant lady coming to your OPD with presentation of appendicitis suspected of appendicitis, first should we go? Then first is ultrasonography. But if it is asking like very sensitive or specific, then you will answer the MRI. Okay. Now, if appendicitis is confirmed in ultrasonography, you should go for appendectomy. If other diagnosis, then treat accordingly. If the ultrasonography coming negative or appendix is not visualized, now then the ideal is MRI. If it is not available, then CCT abdomen can be done in second trimester. It is newly added in the book. Okay. So if MRI coming as appendicitis, then appendectomy should be done. If MRI also coming as appendicitis is negative, then observe the patient. If improves, discharge. If worsens, then diagnostic laparoscopy as discussed in the previous slide or other cases. Now, appendicitis in case of immunocompromised patients like diabetes or tuberculosis or HIV/AIDS, all these or chronic steroid taking, all those cases should be treated same manner as normal patient or immunocompetent patient. Now, complications after appendectomy. Complications can be paralytic ileus, pyelophlebitis or portal pyemia, which presents as high fever, rigor with jaundice. This is very important. It is most dangerous condition. Next is residual abscess. Other complications like right inguinal hernia, and most commonly due to ilioinguinal or hypogastric nerve involvement. And in case of belly lobe, it is written as hypogastric, but in other books it is written ilioinguinal nerve. So first preferable is hypogastric followed by ilioinguinal. Okay. Now other are respiratory problems, DVT, and most common post-operative complication like wound sepsis and infection. If it is coming as most common post-op complication of appendectomy, you should write wound sepsis or wound infection. If it is coming as most common late complication of appendicitis, you should go for adhesion, kinking, intestinal obstruction. Now, perforation, another book it is written, if it is within 24 hours, then present as diffuse localized peritonitis. If within 24 hours, if more than 24 hours, then diffuse peritonitis. That is written wrongly actually. Within 24 hours, then localized peritonitis. More than 24 hours, then diffuse peritonitis. Okay. And one MCQ came, open appendectomy done in Hammond cannula. Now some figures, like first the patient will complain in pain in the periumbilical region. After 12 to 24 hours, he will present the right iliac fossa, dull, colicky, sharp, constant pain. Then use clinically suspect appendicitis. This is the Alvarado scoring already we discussed. Now there are specific approaches with incisions. One is Gridiner, one is Lange incision, and one is right paramedian. Most preferably is Lange and Gridiner. And these are muscle splitting incision. And Gridiron is the incision given perpendicular to the spino-umbilical line in the Murphy's point, whereas Lange incision is smiley incision, or it is okay. 10 minutes left. Smiley incision that is given, and now this is one important thing given in the Sabiston appendiceal critical view. Like we know critical view in case of lap cholecystectomy. It is in the lap appendectomy, where you should remember in 6 o'clock terminal ileum should be present, at 10 o'clock appendix should be present, and 3 o'clock tinea should be present of the cecum. Then this is the critical view where it is safety for after that looking of the critical view, it is safety for go for appendectomy. Okay, these are my references. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the nice topic discussion. And and students, you can follow sir his Telegram channel also and discussion also. I'll be sharing the link. Just I'm showing in the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this
And
awesome
also
session.
for more notes, handwritten notes from all possible books. Okay. Follow Instagram Surgery Times also.
Surgery Times.
Okay.
And sir, please show your group also. You can
Sir?
share the group screen on screen.
Okay, but I don't know actually how to say. That is in the
Okay,
mobile,
okay.
and now I am showing in the laptop actually.
Okay, okay. Sir, you can type there in the screen only. You can type. Okay, you have already done.
This one already I have written here. This Surgery Times.
Okay.
these surgery times in
Sir, your
Instagram.
MCQs are very useful for the students.
Yeah, thank you. But actually, the thing is nowadays only clinical basis question are coming. So that's why I am framing the same one liner to a clinical, so that you can more acquainted during exam also.
Great,
That's
sir.
Okay, sir, I am showing your group link now. 1 minute. This is the search group. Hope everybody can see.
yeah, this one.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, this group actually that I have typed in the Google Chrome. You can just type this and you can join. And sir will be discussing awesome MCQs. Okay, if anyone is
Yes, sir.
having doubt, you can tell to sir.
Nigam, sir, when will be the next session?
Next session will be on 3rd of May.
Okay, I will also take next classes. Okay, accordingly I will inform.
Okay, sir. We'll mail them all. Everything I'll be posted in M4PG website. Will be seeing it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. So hope the video is useful. The class is useful for all.
So today less students joined.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so many people were not able to inform. That's why next session is here. You can go in LearnPad and in upcomings. And here today's session was there.
Nigam, sir, whenever you are posting the link
Yeah.
in your FMG or M4PG group, please pin it.
Okay. I'll be pinning next time. And on 3rd, you can see registration will start from today. And of today's appendicitis video, you can download from store. I'll be after sir will be giving it. I'll be posting here. You can download from here. Okay. If any doubt in
Sure,
the
sir.
appendicitis, sir, you can ask to sir. Otherwise, we can stop it.
Otherwise, you can also ask me in that Telegram group also, discussion group.
Yeah. Surgery times.
Very free to ask.
Surgery times you can.
Okay. You must get the answer. May not at the same time, but after few time I must answer. Okay.
Yeah. Sir will be busy sometime, may not answer, but sir will definitely answer it after some time. Okay, sir, you can stop the recording now.
Okay. It is not showing here.